G'day viewers, my name's Graham Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world. And lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists in Australia do what they do. Well, hi folks, and welcome back to Colour in Your Life. We're down at Merimbula today with a wonderful lady, Tracey Creighton. Welcome to the show, Tracey.
Thank you, Graham. Lovely to have you here in Merimbula.
It's great,
Yeah.
Really beautiful area. The weather's just fantastic at the moment, and we've actually come down to southeast New South Wales to actually film a couple of artists as we go up the coast. But Tracey, without a doubt, and meeting this lady and looking at her background, she's probably the most organised artist I've ever met in my life.
Okay,
it's just
thanks.
extraordinary. She has a fabulous gallery in her home down here at Merimbula, which is right on the water's edge. And you obviously saw as we were out the front, we walked through the garden. It's just a magnificent area. But going back, I mean, I think this really all came about when you were a young woman, age of 21, I think, 21 or 22,
Yep.
and you started an art institution, a graphic arts technical college.
Yeah, training college.
Training
Yep.
college in Brisbane in 1982 and just had a booming success with that. So tell me a little bit more about the college.
Well, I started it in 1982 to train people for careers in the graphic art and advertising industry. So I had part-time and full-time students and I owned the college up until 1995 and sold it in order to go overseas. But the college is still running now, 31 years later, so that's terrific.
And you've really, I mean, gone from there, which is just sensational. She's a magnificent teacher as well. Obviously has a lot of students come into the area. And I think the rest of Australia should know about that. Amazingly talented lady. And as I said, if you want to know about the business of art, I think that Tracey is definitely a person to talk to as well. And Tracey is such a diverse artist as well. If you look at her work, she does a number of different types of styles, which I think just are really wonderful as well. We're going to be working on a painting today, nice big size too, I like that. And we're going to go through the process of how you put one of your pieces together. Really interesting stuff too. You're going to see some really good techniques that I haven't really seen before myself. Once again, that's the reason we do what we do, is to come to these great artists to see how they present their work. So let's see what we can do with this artwork.
Excellent.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So what do we do now?
Okay, spray bottle, we're going to wet the canvas first.
Okay.
Okay,
So, I mean, how much water would you normally put into this?
look, you could paint it on with a big wide brush if you wanted to. It's just, you know, as easy to spray the canvas down. So you sort of want it wet right out to the edges.
Yeah.
And enough water so that the ink's going to flow nice and easily across that. So that's about it.
And that's what we're using first off. You just said ink.
Yes, we're using Art Spectrum pigmented inks.
Okay.
It's highly concentrated colour, beautiful and bright. So we want this canvas as translucent and as bright as possible to start with, so that I choose ink rather than paint to do that.
All right, well I might just sit down here and watch what you do.
Okay, sure, you can help.
You want me to pour some stuff on, do you?
Well, you can. Would you like to do that? Here you go.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Have some orange. Off you go.
So how much am I supposed to put?
Knock yourself out.
This is a little similar to what I do occasionally as well.
Yeah, so you just want a bit dropped, scattered.
It doesn't matter if they splatter like that?
No, that's fine.
Okay, and it's just all over?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, I know on this canvas I'm going to be painting a lotus flower.
Okay.
And because it's sitting around lily pads and it's on water, I'm going to put blues and turquoise into the background.
And these are techniques that you teach in your schools?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Kids love this. And in fact, you get such a fabulous response from them, and adults as well, I might add.
Yeah.
because it's they're just amazed by the result that they get just from splashing ink about.
It's fabulous. All right, what next after we do that?
Okay, so we're going to use some cling wrap
Okay.
to put over this. Now, often when you buy a stretch canvas, they come with plastic, you know, they come in a plastic wrap.
Sure.
So when you're using a big canvas like this, keep the plastic wrap because you don't have to use cling wrap. You can just use the plastic that's come off the canvas.
That's great.
So I'm going to get your help for this. Now, if I get you to take that end,
Okay.
just lay that sort of loosely.
Just lay it loosely?
Yeah,
So
just
it
let
just
it
sort of
fall
falls?
over the top.
Right.
That's it,
like
and
so.
we're going to pull it so that it covers the edges as well. Because this colour will bleed wherever the ink and the water has gone. It will just bleed out. So we can pull that colour like this,
Yeah.
right out to the edge of the canvas, and then it will eventually just bleed around the
Oh,
sides.
it'll just go over the edge.
And we'll just line that just so there's a little overlap there of the...
There you go. Is that right?
Okay, yep. Okay, and then over the last.
Okay.
Now just
Sure.
push the colour right out to the edge.
Oh, so
and
you just use your...
Yeah, and you can scrunch it,
Oh, wow.
push the Glad wrap around.
Yeah.
And the more that you move the Glad wrap, the more the colour intermingles, and the colour will eventually, you know, all these beautiful bright colours will start going muddy. So we want to get it before it goes too muddy. So we push it around enough so that we've still got some lovely colour happening.
So this is fun. This is fun. This is what art's all about.
Yeah, and
it's just wonderful.
look at the gorgeous patterning
Oh, no,
that you
look at
get
that.
in
Look at that.
here.
Look at that.
Okay, so if I was doing
Yeah.
a water scene, and this lotus flower is going on water,
Yeah.
I pull this in a more of a horizontal fashion because it will take on the look of water.
Oh, so we want to go this way then, do we?
Yeah, well, it doesn't
Okay.
really matter. But
Okay.
yes, I would normally, if I was, say,
that.
doing a whale leaping out of the ocean, I
Yeah.
would pull this horizontally.
Okay.
And if I was doing forest scene, I'd pull the Glad wrap vertically
Wow.
so that it gave the impression
Oh,
of
of course, yeah.
So you just adapt it to whatever it is that you want to paint. Okay, so where you have white canvas still showing,
Yep.
you can lift the Glad wrap and you can spray
Yeah.
under it and pull that colour out, or
Oh,
you can just go back with some more ink, lift the Glad wrap and drop the colour in there. So if you want to loosen the Glad wrap
Oh,
to
just pull it
create
up a
more
bit.
texture,
Yeah, yeah.
you just lift it and then manipulate the Glad
And
wrap.
it really, it's sort of, so those bubbles are really going to sort of create lighter areas. I can see there's
Yes.
one, so it really draws the colour in around the side of the
That's
Glad
right,
wrap. That's
yeah.
great, isn't it?
So we haven't got enough colour up here, so we just need to wet that and
Okay.
drop some more colour.
Cool.
I'll
So
let you do that.
just a little bit of blue.
That's right.
This is a really cool technique, guys. It's just fun. It's just so much fun.
Okay, so we just lay that back over again.
Okay. And then sort of scrunch it up a little bit.
Yep, you can scrunch it up and we just push with your fingers all the colour right out to the
edge.
Yep.
And then it just sort of bleeds off, does it?
It does.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, so...
I really like this technique. So okay, so from here, obviously as we said, we don't want to keep doing it until it just turns muddy. What do you normally do? You just take this away in a flat situation?
Yeah, I would leave
Just
it
let it
here
dry?
to dry. Depending on your weather conditions, it can take a couple of hours to dry. So I just leave it
Okay.
and then come back later. And when it's dry, we take the Glad wrap off.
We start on the next one?
Yeah.
All right, we'll wait till this thing dries then. It's taken a little time to dry and looks fabulous. Now, before we pull this up, you can't pull this up if it's not perfectly dry, can you?
Well, you can, but you won't get the same patterning effect.
Okay.
So if you leave it half dry and you pull it up, the edges will soften out.
Okay.
So to get more drama, we leave it till it's dry.
So what happens
now?
now?
So you know when it's dry.
Okay.
Because as you lift it, it makes a sound like the plastic is stuck to the canvas. So I'll let you pull that up.
I'm going to tear it up. So all I do is I just lift it up.
Yeah. Can you feel
Oh yeah,
this
actually it really is, isn't it?
little
Yeah.
resistance? Yeah.
Have a look at it, and you can see all of the really thick parts that have stuck onto it there as well. It's an amazing pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
just amazing.
Great effect.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
Whew, we're going to paint onto this. So I'm going to put this on the easel and I'm going to do a quick outline of the lotus flower and
Okay.
the lily pads in here, and then we're going to throw paint straight onto it.
Sounds cool. Let's go. Okay, well we've gone from the flat desk and now we're actually at the easel, and you're going to start to create this. It's a lotus that we're painting, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, now lily pads.
Okay, well let's fire away then. What do we do next?
I'm just going to do a very quick outline.
Yeah.
I normally do it in black so that I can see it on top of all of this colour.
Okay. And you just do it with black paint, or?
Yeah, I actually use a black gesso for this. Because I'm adding medium onto this after I've done the painting, I actually want the paint as dry as possible.
Yeah.
So if I use a black acrylic,
yeah.
there's too much gloss in it. So I use a gesso because it's a matte black.
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
So I have a little reference here of the flower.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it as bright a pink as that, so I'll take a little artistic license.
Yeah.
But just as a point of reference, really, just so I know, okay, and I can work out the placement onto the canvas. So say the centre of this flower is going to be about here, the centre of the canvas is about here. So that's normally my starting point for a painting, is work out, if it's a flower, the centre of the flower and where that's going to be.
Yeah.
And the petals come out from this point here. So I just loosely draw in.
Yes. I was going to say it's very, very loose and free-flowing anyway.
Yes, and I don't mind this dry brush effect. I just want an outline so that when I start applying paint,
yes,
I sort of know where I'm putting things. And that's about all the information I want to put down for the flower, and I might then just quickly whiz through and decide where the lily pads are going to sit.
All right,
so
okay.
I'll quickly draw those in. This background, it's just tone and texture and pattern as a background. It's not meant to be a painting. So as the lily pads go off into the distance, the ellipses become thinner, and of course the lily pads become smaller. And I might add or subtract from this as I go, but because this line I'm putting down isn't a strong line, it's very easy to paint over it and take out what you don't want. So that's about all the information we need.
So we were just, obviously you said that's going to dry fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And then from there we're just going to start to build our colours.
Yeah, I don't need to wait for this black outline to dry.
We'll just move straight on into it.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to lay out some colour, and I use this glass table.
Yeah, I've noticed a few artists that do use the glass because it's so much easier to clean as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's fabulous. I don't, you know, you just wipe it off. You don't have to worry about washing ink or paint down the sink.
Great idea.
Now, all of the colours that I'm using are translucent colour. I need the colour to be as bright and as translucent as possible.
Okay.
So I had 3 pots of water I normally set up. So I'll use one pot for the first wash, second wash and third wash, so that I'm not running back and forwards all the time, refreshing the water.
And they're really good points as well, because in the end, if you're only using the one water, it just becomes mud after a while, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you can see here, this colour is lovely, clean, translucent colour.
Yeah.
And I can then wash over the top of this. So this patterning effect that we have going on in the background, I don't lose it, but it knocks back some of the white areas that would be too dominant if you left them white.
It's amazing how much you can do and how much you can create with some fairly simple techniques, but forming something that really just looks exceptional in the end.
Okay, so I'm going to work into this lily pad now. I want to just knock back the intensity and tone that's going on there in the background.
All right.
I'm going to keep that white paint fairly clean so it's not contaminated with other colour. So I'm going to go into the flower now with the heavier white paint. So I won't water that back.
Smaller brush?
Slightly smaller brush.
Yeah. Well, that looks pretty dynamic, doesn't it?
I'm not trying to do a perfect painting here. I'm just trying to get lovely subtle colours going down in the background. All of these edges can be quite soft because I'm going to be laying technique like
Over
this
the
piece
top.
in the background.
Sure.
And you don't want hard edges because the edges that I'm putting down are going to be hard on top. So if
Okay.
these are all soft, that's good.
Okay. That's like the little stamens in the middle, is it?
Yeah, centre of this particular flower is very interesting. It's sort of a little circular piece and they sort of come up like fingers.
Uh-huh. It's still leaving that pattern coming through as well.
Yeah,
Looks
so
good.
and I tell you what, the colour comes up beautifully once you add a varnish over the top. So I put a chroma oil-based varnish
Okay.
over the top, and the colour just
It really,
sings.
yeah, it really snaps it, doesn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so I don't need this to be perfect because of the layers that have been put over the top. But at the end, even once the technique has gone on, I will come back and I will dab colour and highlights into the particular areas that I need. So if I need to deepen an area, add a little bit more shadow, I'm just going to dab a few brush strokes with highlights and shadows. So that sort of finishes the painting off at that stage.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
So from here, I'm just going to throw a little bit of blue paint into that corner here that I can see. And that's it until we lay this on the floor.
Okay.
And we're going to apply 3 processes after this. So the first one's going to be black ink, and I'm going to pour that out of the bottle.
Yeah.
The next stage will be piping on an outline, and the next stage is splattering it with some gold paint.
Let's get into it. All right, Tracey, what do we do? What's going to happen now?
Okay, I've put Indian ink just into a smaller container,
Yeah.
just with a little nozzle top on it, and I'm going to pour this onto the artwork.
Yeah.
I don't have to put Indian ink around everything, but we want to sort of use it. It's lovely contrast to the colours that are in here. So,
Okay.
yeah, anything could happen now, Graham.
Yes, I was going to say it is very free flow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it has to be on the floor. It has to be flat because otherwise the ink's going to run off.
Sure. And it just sort of runs out, does it?
Yep.
Obviously.
And it will drop and splutter in different places as well
Yeah.
as I go.
Okay.
So it gives it. It's not meant to be an even line. It's just meant to be a very loose, rough line, and I can
See
wander
that.
around the canvas.
And are you squeezing the bottle at all, or is it just coming out on its
it
own?
just runs out on its own.
Oh, okay.
Yep. If you squeezed it, we would have a terrible mess.
Okay. Very expressive, really is.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of has a bit of an Asian feel about it.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, there's sort of real neat. There's really no going back, is there?
Nope.
You just have to sort of go with the flow.
That's right.
Well, it looks great, bud.
And you don't want to do an overkill because we still have 2 more processes
Yeah, I was going to say.
to do. Yeah. Okay, so we won't do any more than that.
Yeah.
We'll leave that. But I do have to go on to the next medium straight away while
Okay.
this is wet.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's what we'll do then. And this is the one. It's actually in a cake decorator mixy thingamy-bob.
Piping
this-
bag.
A piping bag. Okay, there you go. It's a piping bag. Here we go, and it just sort of runs out. But look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, that's great, isn't it?
Now I'm not really squeezing this.
It's just running through, is it?
Yeah. If you squeeze, you've got a good chance you'll find an air bubble in there and it will go splat and you'll end up with this rather ugly mark.
But that really sort of lends a great lightness to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Actually, it actually gives it a 3-dimensional effect as well.
I have this lightly coloured with cream, added a little so that it's not stark white. But you could make this any colour.
This is your secret formula. This is your 11 herbs and spices, isn't it?
It is.
We can't tell the audience what's in this.
No, but you would be able to find a similar medium art store.
Yeah, I think with the chroma they have that new paint, the free flow, and I think that it could very possibly do exactly the same as what this is doing.
Yep, that sounds great. I'm going to give that a try for sure. So I think it's probably enough.
Great stuff. Okay, now we put the gold on.
We are. I'm using a dagger brush here because you can see how the paint drips nicely off this brush, and I can also get some thin lines, which again I'll come back and do some reeds with that. So here we go, we're just going to drop it, and I just use little flicky motion.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it lands on the black, it will kind of intermingle with the black as well.
And that Atelier gold that you've got there, you've actually put a little bit more water in there, have you?
I have, yes. So you just need to break down the consistency. It's I love this colour, pale gold.
Beautiful chroma colours.
It is.
Well, another fabulous day down here at Merimbula with Tracey. Thank you so much for being
welcome.
It was
Thank
amazing.
You for sharing your day.
Just another incredible techniques, just so different once again. And as you can see, they're so much fun. I mean, part of being with you today was a lot of fun too.
Oh, good.
And
I enjoyed it.
And obviously, Tracey teaches as well, as I think is really important. She teaches kids and adults, and she gets people from all over the southeast of New South Wales coming into her workshop. So I would suggest that everybody come in and see her for that as well. Also, your website address is boardwalkart.com.au.
That's it.
And you can also find Tracey on Facebook at Boardwalk Art as well.
That's right.
So go in there, tick like, of course, and then go and see her. If you want to do some of the workshops and come down and see her, I really suggest it, because she's one of those artists that's extremely versatile, knows tons and tons of different techniques. And as I said when we started the show, probably the most organised woman in the arts field I've ever met in my life. So she can teach you a lot about the business of art as well. But absolute pleasure. We'd like to thank our sponsors, of course, Chroma, everybody else that's involved with us. We've got some tremendous things happening these days, and we just love the fact that everybody comes in, talks to the artists, talks to us. There's just so much going on the website these days. colorinyourlife.com.au. Come and see us and talk to us. We're going to head north again now. It's been an absolutely great time down here. The weather's been beautiful. But until we see you guys again, remember, make sure you put some colour in your life. Absolutely. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.